Doon 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 doon. Coffee Peak Fiction. Doon 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 doon. Breakfast Peak. Breakfast Peak. Wait. What's going on? Dude, my computer is chugging right now. What in the world? Bro, I'm pretty sure y'all can hear it. Bro, the fans are on full blast. Yo. What in the world is going on? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain. I can imagine. Bro, what is going on with my computer? Hold on. Dude, why? Bro, my computer is... Yo, relax. Dude. Alright, well, YouTube is telling me that the stream was over before it started. So hold on. Let me see. Let me turn on the camera. Let me see. Let me know. Hold on. Are we in 240, 360, 480, 720, 1080, or 4K? Let me know. On your end, what are we in? Because this thing is telling me that the stream is barely viable. That like we're pushing by the skin of our teeth here, man. Holy flagnards. Well, first and foremost, is the audio good? Dude. We're looking good, looking crisp. Let's go. And we're not upside down. That's what I'm talking about. Screw Emu. Emu ain't got nothing on us, baby. My bad, Emu. I didn't mean that. The Queen Slayer 9121, coming with a goated profile picture, might I add, comes in and says, was late for work reading Peak, 100% worth it. Goat raw fuego. So excited for it, Queen Slayer. So flippy excited for it because we're coming off a break. And because we're coming off a break, I already know it's going to be goated. I already know it's going to be Peak. But man, I don't know why my computer's chugging. This is why my computer's chugging. Because my boy, the God Hand of Finance. The God Hand of Finance comes in and gives 20 memberships to the channel at 10:11 in the morning, my time. I'm not sure what time it is for y'all. But 10:11 in the morning, my time. All love to you, Ali G. Bro, continuing a conversation from last time. So that weekend, whenever you're telling me about Battlefield, I managed to round up a couple of the guys to be able to play the beta, man. And it was so much fun. I am buying that day one. It reminds me of how it felt playing Battlefield 3 and 4 and Bad Company 2. I had so much fun playing the Battlefield 6 beta. So I appreciate you for pushing that last stream, man. That beta, I had so much fun that weekend playing it. So shout out to my boy. But all love to you, man. Thank you so much for 20, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure y'all understand how crazy that is. 20 gifted memberships, man. All love to everybody who received a membership here today. And whatever you end up doing with a membership, man. All love to everybody who received one. But as always, like every single week, shout out to Big Subra and Boise Bird for keeping me good to go. Even though it wasn't going to be a heavy social media week for me anyway, because I'm coming off of the Trails in the Sky. Shout out, ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever wanted to get into the Trails series, there's no better time. There is a demo available for the remake of the first chapter. I know y'all hear me talk about it all the time. But that demo will carry over the progress into the actual game if you decide to get it. But if you just want to give it a shot, it's available on PS5, Steam, and on the Switch now too, man. And so, absolute greatness there. I've been going ham on that. And then this week, obviously, Metal Gear Solid came out. And y'all know how much I love MGS. So it was like, it wasn't going to be a heavy week online anyway. But I appreciate the boys for looking out for me and letting me know, like, man, this week is not the week to be online. And I was like, all right, that works. That works perfectly in my favor, honestly. So, super, super excited to see what ends up being cooked here. Oh, you got the Phantom Edition? Is the Phantom Edition like the highest one? Like the digital deluxe? Yeah, Marcus Lim, the progress carries over. So in the demo, it plays throughout the entire prologue of the Trails in the Sky first chapter remake, and then once you finish that, if you were to pick up the actual game, it would pick up on chapter one, right? Because it's going to carry over all your progress. That's how a few demos have been doing it recently, specifically from Falcom's side, and I'm sure other RPGs have been doing it too. I remember Metaphor did it last year. So that's how some of these big JRPGs have been doing it, but Trails in the Sky first chapter for sure is doing it as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is almost that time for us to sit down and read Latest Installment. I'm honestly not sure what we're going to get into this week, because I'm not sure what to expect. I don't know if we're getting Goon Piece, Hype Piece, because this entire section of the story has truly been the box of chocolates saying from Forrest Gump, man. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get in a given chapter. You don't know if it's going to be an emotional chapter, a hype chapter, the romance Goon Piece stuff. I don't know. But as long as we're still in the flashback, I already know we're going to cook. Are y'all sure you don't hear this fan, dude? This thing is loud. Bro, what in the world is going on? My boy Lazy Muffo says, I started reading Sakamoto Days in Kaiju number 8, reading Goder x Goder because he's back. But now it's time for Peak Piece. Yo, shout out to Sakamoto Days. I need to catch back up to that. I caught back up to Akane Banashi while we were on break, and I love that series so much. What a phenomenal manga. But I need to catch back up to Sakamoto Days, man. I'm definitely slacking on that. I'm even slacking on the Kaiju number 8 anime, and I really like that anime. So I need to catch back up on that too. This week it's Recon Piece, very Recon core. Oh wait, Recon core. NL. Don't tell me my boy's in the chapter, man. Yo, stop playing with me, Subra. Stop playing with me, bro. Then the Queen Slayer comes in with a 2 and says, was late for work reading Peak, 100% worth it. Listen, following up on your membership message, because I'll love to Queen Slayer. I think there's multiple different times whenever we have had to be late. I'm sure it's many of us, not just myself, that have been late because of Pete calling our name, and so I cannot blame you in the slightest. But I'm just so glad that you're here with us, that you're here with us for the greatness. And so, oh man, I can't wait to see what's actually like. Now you've got me thinking, Subra. But all love to you, Queen Slayer. Appreciate you so much for the super. Currently number 1 in the leaderboards. All love to you. Actually, let me go ahead and read that before we get into the intro. So we've got the Queen Slayer number 1, Edis Archive number 2, Gabriel Nozea number 3, Marcus Slem number 4, James Fish Music number 5, Lazy Mofos number 6, Shira Nura number 7, The God Hand of Finance number 8, Brothership 9358 number 9, and Leo Legendario at 1. Or at 10. Might as well be flipping 1. So all love to the leaderboards. But exactly what Gabriel's saying. If One Piece is out, I'm out. Y'all remember? Y'all know what it is. If One Piece is out, I'm out. And so, Cowboys fans hurting right now. They're always hurting. That's what they get for supporting a trash team. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to read what is bound to be some greatness. I mean, this flashback has yet to give us a non-banger chapter. You know what I'm saying? It's been heat after peak after peak after peak. Gas. You know what I'm saying? I am so excited to be here today, not only for the latest installment in the Loki and Rock's flashback, but also just to be able to see where Ichiro Oda is going to take this thing as we head into the end of the year. We are currently at the end of August. It is, hold on, let me see. It is 10:19 a.m. And so, on August 29th, 10:19 a.m. on August 29th, meaning we have, if we get 2 to 3 chapters in September, 2 to 3 chapters in October, 2 to 3 chapters in November, and then we're going to get like 2 chapters in December, or 1 chapter in December, and then the first chapter from next year. So let's just say we got like 10, 12 chapters left. And in those 10 to 12 chapters, we could still be within this flashback, or we could get the flag nerds into the current time. Who knows? Who knows? But the thing that I'm most excited about is seeing where we pivot based on the end of last chapter. Because the end of last chapter had us both with the Shaky greatness and the treasure of Hachinosu, the crown jewel of Hachinosu, cooking whatever in the world's going on there. And then on the other side of the page was the Gorosei talking about eliminating rocks, man, and giving that proposition over to Harold. And so, how are we going to pivot and see what in the world's going to happen this week? But I'm so excited because we are here today. I don't know where my iPad is, but we are here today. Whether the iPad's at 0% battery or 100%, to read the latest installment in that Elbaf greatness, flashback Elbaf greatness, mind you, to see what is about to take place in chapter 1158 of the best-selling manga in history. The other day, I saw that another baseball team did a collaboration with a Jujutsu Kaisen, which I was like, that is so cool. So cool. Because what we're seeing now is that the One Piece collaborations have opened the doors for other collaborations of that type to take place within either North American sports or within worldwide sports, which is just really, really cool. So shout out, I forgot what team it was, but some team did a collaboration with JJK, and I was like, let's flip and go, man. One Piece really opened doors for these crazy collaborations that could happen now, right? So, what a good time. What a good time. But we are here today, man, coming off of, like I said, a really, really cool week last week with one of my personal favorite gaming experiences getting its remake, at least the very beginning of that journey. It'll be the equivalent of like One Piece getting its East Blue Saga remade. So that was a really emotional, really touching, really incredible experience, and one that I can't wait to continue. And then today, I started playing it last night, one of my all-time favorite games, Metal Gear Solid 3, just been remade as well, and it's been a crazy time, man. And then we got the Kirby Air Riders Direct last week, which already had me so excited for a game that's a top 50 game for me. I love that game so much, just an integral part of my childhood. And to see its new edition be as cool as it looks, I really can't wait for that. All the other cool stuff they showed off at Gamescom. Lego Batman is back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's flip and go. But with Borderlands on the horizon, once again, Trails coming in. No pun intended, by the way, with Beyond the Horizon comment. Trails about to come in. Lost Soul Aside dropped today. I hope everybody who's getting that enjoys it as well. And all the other greatness is coming in, man. It's going to be a fun time here in the coming months, coming weeks. But in the midst of all of that, we understand the One Piece greatness is going to keep pushing forward. I can't wait to catch back up to the anime because it's been a couple of episodes, and I'm sure we're about to head into some greatness. I really want to catch up before the pizza episode, you know, where when Luffy balances the pizza with Kizaru and Saturn. So I hope I get to catch it before then. But even if we don't, we are going to be up in Lexomor for the manga each and every single time. Not sure if there's a break next week, but I don't care, because we will be here no matter what, because it is time for the one, the only, the awesome sauce known as One Listen, Subra. I'm thinking about that Recon core comment, man. I wonder what that means. Peace. Let's go, y'all. It is time. I can't wait. We've got a membership message coming in from Jose the Boss 507. 10 months, says, Coach, hope you're doing great. I am doing great. I am doing great, Jose. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate you so much for stopping by on a crazy morning. Chapter apparently dropped last night like at 1 o'clock in the morning. I was playing Metal Gear. I was paying attention to anything. I was going ham, and then when I woke up in the morning, I saw the chapter came out. So I was like, well, it is what it is. But I appreciate you, Jose. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am doing great. I forgot to hold a poll for the title. Hold on. Let me put a poll. All right. Are we reading the title? Subra comes in and says, get the Santa hat ready because it's peak hype. Oh, we got it ready, baby. At all times. As a matter of fact, before we do that, let me take all these out. If it's a chapter in this flashback, I gotta take these out of here, man, before they fall on me again. You know what I'm saying? We gotta take precautionary measures. Precautionary measures. That's right, Quag 2. We're posing for the camera. So let me go ahead and I'll leave that poll up. I will be right back. Let me go find this iPad. And it's gotta be somewhere in this house. I'll be right back. All right, we got it. I got it. I have got it. Super, once again, I appreciate you so much for the super. We're skipping the title. Oh, man. First skip. Wait. Okay, no, never mind. We are not reading the title, so we're skipping the title. All right. Let's see. And it's a pretty hefty one. No, hold on. It's 58%. Do I have to wait? Do I gotta see this? Do I gotta wait it out? 55. Oh, I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna wait it out. The professor was mad Coach got his stream during class time. Tell the coach. I'm about to say tell the coach. Tell the professor to put the stream on in class. Let's get it. I can teach. I'll put up the whiteboard right now. What do they need me to do? We could do math. We could do science, humanities, English. We can do all of it. I can do anything from a teaching standpoint. Let me know. I'll put me in front of the classroom. You know what I'm saying? Put me in front of the classroom. All right, let me wait this out because this is close. It's 45% yes, 54. Wow, a bunch of people are voting yes to reading the title now. So Yo, man, now people are really coming in to vote. Oh, wow, now it's super close. 47%. I don't know, man. All right, I'll give it until 10:30. And until 10:30, coach, teach pro wrestling. I could teach you how to cut a promo. I could teach you how to cut a promo right now. Pro wrestling's what we do here every week. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do here every single week. Do you know how much talent I put over on a regular basis? Like, yeah, listen, man. I put over from a story. There is no one in the business putting anyone over the way I put Charlotte Pudding over. No one. No one in the business. Putting over their talent more than I'm putting over Pudding, Shanks, flipping Luffy, Nami. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting these characters over, man. We're putting them over. So I can't do the moves. But I did cut a promo on an NXT house show. That is a shoot. I really did. I did cut a promo on Finn Balor and Samoa Joe at an NXT house show. So I do have experience there. But I do not, I don't have the moves. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the moves. Alright, so it is 10:30, and the vote for reading the title is still no at 54%. So it looks like we're not reading the title, but it is close. It is really, really close. So we'll leave it there. And I'll pull up the chapter and then I'll look up again. And if it says, whatever it says is what we'll go with. All right, let's see. Ads, bro. Relax on the ads. Okay. All right. And it's 53%, dude. That is nuts. That is insane. Yo, that is insane. All right. We got to read it. Or I'm not read the title. We got to read the chapter. So if anybody wants to read the title, well, bro, 52%. Dang, man, I don't know if I can, bro. It's too even. It is being edged out. But I am a man of democracy. You know what I'm saying? I am a man of I'd be a good hell diver. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man of democracy. And right now, the people are saying 52%. 52%. On not reading the title. So 51%. Holy flagnards. 51% is nuts. Yo. That's crazy. Okay. It is a democracy. It's 10:32. And the current vote says 51. It's 50-50. Dang, the reading the title says yes! Yes! So now I have to read the title! Bro, hold on. Yo, this is the craziest. This might be the craziest comeback since Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. Came in and returned 28-3 on the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. This is crazy. All right, man. You know what? That's a good idea, Marcus Lem. Flipping a coin, because it keeps going back and forth. It's 50-50. Where's the coin? Alright, y'all. I've got a coin here. Since it keeps going back and forth, we'll flip a coin, and that way everyone gets what they want. We're going to leave it up to chance. So here we go. 50-50. Right now it's 52% yes, 48% no. But I said I was gonna stop the count at 30. At 11:30. So heads were reading the title, tails were not reading the title. Let me make sure I got it right. Okay. Heads reading the title, tails not reading the title. I gotta flip it again. It's tails. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it is tails. It is in fact tails. So we're not gonna read the title. Forgive me, the poll. We are not reading the title. According to chance, according to, as Stu Baron would say, where the ball lands on either side of the thing, we're not reading the title. So let's go. Bro, what is this ad on the right? I'm trying to read a chapter. Okay, relax. 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 Relax, bro. I don't want to see this one. I'm reading One Piece, dog. Goodness gracious, dude. Hello? All right, I don't know if I can read it here on this. Bro, get out of here. What? Hold on. Bro, TCB, y'all gotta do something about these flipping ads, bro. This is crazy. This is insane, dude. Let me just read the chapter. Goodness gracious, man. All right, here we go. But all love to my boys at TCB. But y'all gotta do something about these flipping ads. So here we've got Yamato, Kiku once again, an old girl who I keep forgetting her name, as they're all standing in front of a gravesite. So the grave that we were talking about could have been Ashura Doji flipping other whatever, Kozuki Moria. What does that mean? What does that mean? Dog, I'm perplexed. Number one, what does that mean for the person that's dead? And number two, Kozuki Moria? That can't be our Moria, right? Kozuki? What the flagnards? Kozuki Moria. Kozuki Moria? Oh, I don't know if I can move on from this page. What does that even mean? So obviously, if it's a gravesite, almost knocked over the camera, bro. I didn't even mean to. What in the flying flat? No, don't tell me I broke it again. Man, Kozuki Moria is out here breaking my camera. think we're good. Wait a minute, man. Why would we have so much emphasis on this gravesite, then pull over and have it say Kozuki Moria? As far as I'm concerned, number one, Moria was on the out. Presumably towards what I believed was Buggy's crew. After the last time that we saw him leaving the island full of lead. Gecko Moria. Kozuki Moria, I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's an ancestor. What? I don't know. One Child Yamato in the Holy Nari Shrine Pilgrimage Volume 40. Here lies the Pirate of Justice. The Pirate of Justice. Kozuki Moria. So is Kozuki Moria like a Void Sentry? Like Gecko Moria's Void Sentry ancestor? So does that mean that Gecko Moria's ancestry comes from Wano? So is that why Gecko Moria has the horns? Going back to Onigashima, is he from... Bro, my mind is like... my mind's splitting like... I don't know, man. What in the flying flagnards? Leave it to Oda to put this in a cover page. A cover page? Kozuki Moria. Okay, let's go on to the chapter. The Pirate of Justice, mind. Number one, that goes hard. But number two, Kozuki Moria. We continue. We'll come back to this. I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. But holy sweet mother of flagnards. Because he couldn't have died off screen, right? I mean, this is Oda we're talking about. Characters don't even die on screen. Well, no, then again. Ashura Doji got cooked. We didn't think he got cooked, but he actually did get cooked. So I can't say that anymore. But Gecko Moria wouldn't die off screen, right? It's Gecko Moria. And he's not the Pirate of Justice. Who thinks Gecko Moria is justice? Besides maybe Perona. But how interesting that we think of Moria now. I mean, I've been thinking of Thriller Bark through all of these chapters. All of us have. Because of the characters, right, from Rox's crew. Obviously, being representative of those zombies that were brought back up by Moria and Thriller Bark. So for us to have this is very intentional. Very intentional, but my question is what? What is it? Alright, we'll come back to this, man. The Pirate of Justice, man. That's I'm not gonna lie, that goes pretty hard. Oda's note, I've heard that if you eat lots of oil, it'll help you burn fat and lose weight. So I'm glad to eat oil. So Oda's gonna be eating oil. Shout out to my boy. Maybe him eating oils will cause him to have a cover page that says Kozuki flipping Moria, bro. Oda, man, lay off the oil. Lay off the oil, brother. I don't know what's going on, but the oil's making you act different. A certain C. Roger. That's all I needed to see, man. Oh, that's all I needed to see. A certain sea. Roger's ship. The Oro Jackson. Is my camera still on? It's still on. Captain, look at the Oro Jackson, bro. Ooh. Captain Roger. I heard Shaky opened up a place on Pirate Island. Go over there, man, please. They say it's unbelievable. No, an ad. They say it's unbelievable. Yo, look at Roger, bro. Yo, he low-key looks like Shanks here. Specifically with the with the facial hair around here, and then the size of the hair and the hat. So this is what Ace would have looked like, man. Why? Oh no! Why do you have to do this to me, bro? It's a pouty face Roger, man. The king of the pirates, dude. Look at my boy. Dude, look at the coat, dude. My boy Roger. We worried we'd never see her again when she quit being Empress. But now we know where she is. Let's go. Doesn't Rox control Pirate Island? Oh, Gabon is dotting. Say, Rayleigh, is it just me? Or has Roger been in a bad mood ever since you two spoke in his quarters? About what? No, another ad. About what? What did they speak of in his quarters? What did you discuss? Nothing. Oh man, dude. This reminds me of the first... I only watched the first episode, but the first episode of Black Sails. I wasn't going to say anything to the crew, but I figured I should talk to you one-on-one, Roger. Was this during our last fight with the Kuja Pirates, just before she quit? What are you talking about? I wasn't going to say anything to the crew, so he's hiding information, but I figured I should talk to you one-on-one, Roger. And I'm going to assume Roger asks, was this during our last fight with the Kuja Pirates just before she quit? So something happened there. And this is more than likely going to be related to what happened with Shaky and what caused her to go to the island full of lead. We kept talking about, and especially in the little afterthoughts video, of like, there has to be another twist involved. Something else had to have taken place to cause Shaky to do this. So this might be what they're implying here. Shakuyaku did seem off back then, like she was sick or something. Sick. It can't be the love sickness. I worried she stepped down because of her health. But you're telling me she gave you this during that battle? Ah, interesting. Shakuyaku did seem off back then, like she was sick or something. I worried she stepped down because of her health, but you're telling me she gave you this during that battle. Yeah, I was speechless. This can only be described as a love letter. Come and make me... Rayleigh! Yo! Imagine! And I love it. I love it so much because it had to be Rayleigh. It had to be Rayleigh, right? Like, I imagine Luffy receiving a letter like that. He'd be like, what are the flying fighters talking about? But it had to be Rayleigh, bro. Like, yo, the one individual that the entire planet wants more than anything else. And she's like, nah, none of y'all. I know who I want. I want my boy. I want the Dark King. I want my mans. Rayleigh! Yo! Hey, Matt, this can only be described as a love letter. Come and make me yours. Yo, Shakuyaku's got the romance piece, bro. Rayleigh motion. Rayleigh motion, bro. And you're not interested? I'd be lying if I said that. I just don't want to be tied down. Well, I do. Roger said, F that. Screw the One Piece. Take me over there. Roger's like, yo, if I would have seen that letter, screw it. I would have been gone. Gone, dude. So, what this tells me is that what we said in the chapter Afterthoughts, Shaky has a plan in mind, and it has to do with bringing the rocks, having her be not only the center of that, but keeping it either an eye on the rocks or being with them, just has to be with them, and also wants Roger and them to be involved as well. Because she specifically went over to Rayleigh and said, come and make me yours, in a love letter sense, God bless him. But looking beyond that, it most certainly looks like, no, you have to come to the island full of lead. And so Shaky wants the two of them to come together for something. So now I'm even more interested in what Shaky's plan is. Because that is as clear. That means that she was plotting that even during the Rogers segment. All the way back in that particular section, she was already plotting what's about to happen. I'm curious, man. What are you thinking, Shaky? What are you thinking? Obviously, not in a traitorous way, but what is she plotting to get these two crews together for a certain thing? And to keep an eye specifically on the Rock's pirates. Like, I can't solve that piece of the puzzle. But anyways, this is an awesome way to reveal that. Awesome way to reveal that. The love letter, come and make me yours. Shoot, man, I'll tell you, I received that, boy. Shout out to Rayleigh, though. Rayleigh's honest. He's like, man, I just don't want to be tied down. My boy Roger says, screw all that junk. Come on, man, I ain't giving up. He's like, I don't even care if it is my first mate. I ain't giving up. You're energetic all of a sudden, Roger. Rayleigh's happy. Pirates live to plunder, and we don't stop till the prize is claimed. Isn't that right, fellas? Okay, Roger. Oh, no. Is he still talking about Shaky? Yeah. Gotta be. Why else would we go to Rox's Island? Bro, I was wondering, is he gonna say yes? Oh my god. That's one of the greatest chapter of all time. Gotta be. Why else would we go to Rox's Island of all places? Everyone's got an equal chance. Let's go and get her. Marks, I'm hungry. Make food. It's already done. Dig in. Wow. Oh my god, bro. Ad! Sometime later, 40 years ago, the Holy Land. Holy Land! Hold on, bro. I thought we were going to the island full of land. Holy fuck. So wait, 40 years ago, that's a time skip, right? Bro, if I get one more ad game. So, I think last chapter ended us off like 42 years ago, I think, right? 42? So this is another time skip? Sometime later, 40 years ago, the Holy Land of Marijoa. The flipping Holy Land. You're impatient. Garling! I almost forgot! The previous competition just ended. Oh yeah, for God Valley. I'm aware, but while we were completing another assignment, we briefly stopped at that island. That island? It's a non-affiliated state, but has a unique culture. Look at Garling! Yo! We tried offering them membership in the world government. God's Knight Figureland family, Saint Garling, future elder. The Moonhead, bro. We gotta pull it up. But they declined. While their abundant resources would certainly prove valuable for us, we just made an outrageous discovery. It was a completely unexpected find, and he's revealing this to the Gorosei. And the Great One. The Great One. The Great One is crazy, bro. I know after we talk about the Rock a lot because of rocks, but referring to Emu as the Great One, if you smell the most electrifying man in all of entertainment, the Great One? Oh, Emu. And the Great One will surely be pleased with it. In 2 years' time, I strongly urge you to hold the next hunt at God Valley. So we're already setting up the stage for the God Valley incident. Let's let it go. Garling, man. Shaky's... Come on, man. Just let me see Roger. Just let me see Roger. Bro, you let me see Roger, and I might actually be like, hold on. Shaky's Ripoff Bar, Pirate Island. Getting a single... Dang, that line is huge. Have you guys ever been to midnight releases? I've been to a lot of midnight releases of video games, man. I was there for the Nintendo Wii and its craze. I remember doing a different line with each family member. I was there for the midnight release for multiple Call of Duties in their prime. like MW2, Black. I don't remember if I did Black Ops 1, but I was for sure MW3, Black Ops 2. I did a bunch of them. The Switch, Switch 1 midnight release. I think that was the last one I went to. But those midnight release lines, man, especially back in the day, I mean, they used to be extremely long. And every time I see a line like this, it reminds me of those midnight release lines to go pick up a game. So Shaky's got a midnight release line going up all the way out here. What? It's that much? I don't have that kind of money. Brother, it's called the rip-off bar for a reason. Come to the back. You can work it off with 2 years of unpaid labor. Unpaid. Unpaid. I came all the way from the North Blue. I hear you serve some great whiskey. Some whiskey. And that Shaky makes me too. Bro, Shaky's top one. Are you kidding me? Are you flipping kidding me? A cute compliment like that makes me smile. Bro, Shaky's got these dudes thirsting, bro. And yet they don't understand that she already belongs to my boy Ray. Big Ray. The Dark King, man. So, but I'm not going to personally cook for people like you. Tell him again, Shaky. Tell him again. What? She's just how I dreamed. I'm so happy. Shaky-san, my special bean stew is ready, but we're out of whiskey. Use the cheap rum instead. She's like, F it. You know, it's the rip-off bar anyway. Anyway, here's your top quality whiskey. 3 cheers for our host's poor service. 3 cheers for our host's poor service. That's truly pirating if I've ever seen it, y'all. That is pirate life to the max. 3 cheers for our host's poor service. What happened, Rocks? Rocks. I'm kind of sad that satisfied grin isn't for me anymore. I'm kind of sad that the satisfied grin isn't for me anymore because my boy has his eyes on the prize. He's got his eyes on the prize, man. King of the world, baby. King of the world. Yo, the Viz translation for, what chapter was it? I think it was at 56, 57, when he says, I will show you the peak of the world. Oh, man, the peak of the world, bro. I was like, dude, peak. Literal. So Rox has his eye on something, man. Mama, mama. See? A woman's intuition is a scary thing, huh? Shut up, I said it's none of your business. Oh, are they referring that Rox is in love? Blackbeard's mother? Buggy's mom? Y'all know about it, hold on. Where's it at? Hold up, man. Where is it? I know I've got it around here somewhere. No, I don't think so. Flagnards. Regardless. Is it over there? Regardless. Buggy's mom? Oh no, man. Blackbeard's mom? Mama. See? A woman's intuition is a scary thing. So that means Rox fell in love with someone else. Which is why he no longer obviously has the eyes for Shaky. God bless him. A very disciplined individual. Only has eyes for one woman. But I'm curious on if it actually is that, or if it's just him locking in on his goal, or maybe both. Shut up, I said it's none of your business. What's going on? Here we see Whitebeard and Stussy, right here on the left. Dummy. It has to be a woman. The guy's grinning like he's expecting a kid. The guy's grinning like he's expecting a kid. My boy BB, bro. It makes sense, right? 40 years? I guess it makes sense. It has to be a woman. The guy's grinning like he's expecting a kid. Hee hee. Shaky. Already a top 3 chapter of the year. I don't gotta read anything else. Are you kidding me? We got Romance Piece. We got Rox Piece and Roger Piece with Garling Piece. Already top 3 chapter of the year. I don't have to read anymore. I don't have to read anymore, bro. Roger pops up. Gabon. Shaky, I've come for you. Shaky-chan, it's me. Oh, it's the Roger Pirates. Get a pick. Get a pick. Oh, Roger. Beat, beat, go, go, go. Real shonen, ladies and gentlemen. Born bred rivals. Born and bred rivals. Yo, you weren't lying, Subra. You weren't lying. Straight up Recon core peak right here, man. Rox and Roger. Real shonen. Roger, how many times do I gotta tell you that this is my island? Didn't you hear? Fighting at Shaky's forbidden. So stuff it, you porcupine. Isn't there a huge line out there? How'd you get in here? Did you wait? You better believe they didn't wait. My boy probably hit him with a divine departure. Said, boom! Straight up just divine departure. I'm just gonna get him out of here, son. Akash Panda comes, this is Rox and Roger Bar scene. Jaya callback. Let's go, Akash Panda. You're spitting. I didn't even think about that. You're spitting. Jaya callback. That's all I need. That's all I need, man. So they got cooked outside. Roger took care of business. There was a line I hardly noticed. Drink up, everybody. Yeah, I can't stand those guys. They're so noisy. And that is great considering that we know Whitebeard and Roger have their rivalry later on as well. Put it on Newgate's tab. Now leave it on Rox. Roger, where's Ray, son? Bro. My boy Roger, bro. Roger, where's Ray, son? I told him to come, but he said he wasn't feeling well. So he's napping on the ship. My boy said, you know what? Y'all go handle it. I'll be there later. But I love how Shaky's blushing, bro. She wants to see my boy, the Dark King, man. She wants to see my guy. She wants to see him. Where's Ray, son? And my boy is shook. Yeah. Oh, Gloriosa, I forgot. I forgot that she has the super thing for Roger. Is that you, Roger? I've wanted to see you again so badly. Now let me on your ship. Gloriosa. I told you no. I'm not into lovey-dovey women who throw themselves at me. Roger's like, no clingy types around here, man. No clingies. None of that. I told you no, I'm not into lovey-dovey women who throw themselves at me. But if Shaky asked, it'd be different. That makes no sense. It's because of the way Shaky acts. It's because of the way she acts. But on Roger's trip, and definitely with Gloriosa, that's for sure. No. Dang, she really wanted to see my boy Rayleigh, man. Rayleigh, stop doing this. Stop it. You got old girl waiting for you and you're out here napping on the ship? Come on, man. I'll pass. Come on, dude. Look at Roger. Yo, is it Newgate still here? I want to drink with him. That's beautiful in context. That is really, really beautiful in context, man. He left, mama. Dang it, Rayleigh, why didn't you come? I love that from Roger. Roger, even though obviously in the bottom pits of his heart, he truly is like, man, I want Shaky so bad. But he's also thinking about his first mate. And he's also thinking about Shaky. Where he's like, yo, like, why didn't you come, Rayleigh? She's waiting for you, man. She don't want me, brother. She wants you, bro. She wants you, man. Yo, One Piece has never been more romance piece than it is now. Not even during the Romance Dawn arc. Goodness gracious. This is the greatest of all time. We'll deliver Bink sake. Ooh, the egg! Bro, look at the size of the egg, man. They just keep focusing on that thing. Is that Shaky? Shaky's size? Whoa, Shaky's fainted. Don't tell me it's a love sickness. Don't tell me it's a love sickness. Emperor Shaky! I want to take care of her. Let me help. Move it, boys. Keep away from her. Gloriosa's like, nah, I'll take care of this. You scoundrels, get out of here. Shakuyaku's rules ensure that anyone coming to the island to visit her establishment would be granted safe passage. Even the fiercest of pirates would keep the peace if they crossed paths. But back at sea...
my boy really looks like Ace here, man. Yo, this is what Ace would have looked like, bro. Look. Bro, this is Ace. This is literally Ace, man. Dude, but back at sea, all bets are off, son. All bets are off. Yo! Bro, what a panel, dude! Roger and Rocks! Bayonor comes in with a super and says all of them drinking and hanging out together like they're all friendly rivals / co-workers from different departments. Feels so surreal, but I love it. Yo, Bayonor, for real, bro. For real. Like, that actually is one of the coolest things ever. It's like, they're pirates, obviously, but at the end of the day, you know, at sea, things are different. And we've seen that even with Luffy, right? Like, when you're at sea, you know, we can box. But when we're at a party together, we're partying. You know what I'm saying? We're partying. We have our rivalries, obviously, but we're partying. But when we're at sea, baby, we're throwing hands. And so I love that. That is ensuring this is still a pirate manga. Thank you so much for the super Bayonor. Both to you and Akash Panda. And I apologize if I missed any other supers. I'll definitely go back to that in the post stream. But back at sea, all bets were off. Realm of the Dead, Elbaf. So we see Elbaf, lightning coming down. Don't try me. I almost said the word, the name starts with an E. I almost said it, man. But it's not lightning, it's Conqueror's lightning. Realm of the Dead, Elbaf. Loki! So Loki's being blown back. What? It's an animal. And we see Hadrudine. So Hadrudine and Loki are out here. Harold! Who's he fighting? Is that Rox? I see the spiky hair. Is that Rox? Only Rox can do this, right? Rox? Wait. So does that mean that Harold decided to go take on Rox after the Gorosei said what they said? What is going on? So he goes in, slashes. It is Rox. I see him right here on the left. Oh man, they're both bloodied up, dude. So they clash. Rox gets sent back. Harold gets sent back. Harold, the government's really got you wrapped around their finger. No, Harold. I thought we were boys, Harold. I understand you're a king trying to look out for your people. I understand that you want the betterment for the future generations, for your kids, for Loki, for Harold, for your families. But man, dude, that's your boy. You know Rox would never do that. Rox would fight Emu for you. Rox would fight anyone for you. Dang, Harold, man. It's like, I understand where he's coming from as a king. Once again, but... Flagnards, bro. Because I know for a fact... Bro, we saw what Rox did for this man. What he would do for him. Dang, dude. I was torn. Is this really something worth killing your friend over? That's what I'm saying. And in the end, you just bow down to them? You dumb Flagnard, you're being their tool. Like, yes! Yes, Rox! Tell them! Is this their answer? They see you giants nothing but a military asset? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I see you as a person. You're my boy. You're my friend. They see you as nothing but an asset. As someone, as a soldier. You all be enslaved as soldiers. Literally, that's different in context because that's actually what's happening in the present time. What happened to your warrior's pride? What happened to the warrior's pride? Don't you have your own will? Quit talking like you know everything. Our warriors created a history of violence. Elbaf is shackled by it, held back from achieving true peace. You seem to have a good heart, Harold, but a long time ago this country was attacked by giants. And you see his sadness. That kind of fear doesn't fade so easily, sorry. They're also afraid by what their ancestors did. Dang, man, he's trying to propel change into the future. So it's like, once again, I get it. But I don't rock with it. No pun intended. Dang, dude. And Rox is telling him, like, bro, do you understand where you're from? The pride of the warriors of Elbaf? I'm hoping that Usopp gives a similar speech to Dorian Broggie in the present time. And that pops him out of Dome Reversi. And David vs. Goliath type of moment. But I love this from Rox, man. Because he's basically saying, why are you caring so much about what those other individuals think? But it's like, at the same time, I get it, because he's the one trying to establish connections with those other nations, is Harold. And he's seeing firsthand how his status as a giant, how just him being a giant is causing everyone to look back and be like, oh, but you were the type of people that did this back in the day, did this back in the day, did this back in the day. Man, dude. It's like they're not able to brush that to the side. This is a One Piece chapter if I've ever seen one, man. Listen, Rox. No matter how foolish the Celestial Dragons may be, they still have the influence in the world to bring Elbaf into the loop. That they do. And Rox says, stop it, you cowardly rat, and sends him flying. Rox, man, talk to him. Consider our business closed. You won't be getting another invite from me again. I'm a king. I can't throw away my people's lives by following a villain like you into a losing battle. And he says it's a losing battle, bro. You don't know Rox, man. Rox, like I said, will do anything. It's like, I'm so disappointed in Harold, but at the same time, I understand. I understand why it is that he can't see what Rox sees. Because all he's filled is with the future, the possibilities, the connections he could make, the future of Elbaf. Whereas Rox is like, no, son, you gotta see it. We can do this. If you join me, no one can stop us. Harold is the one that's like, they're too much. This hits different because you know when Luffy and Loki team up, it'll be Loki believing in a Luffy who's like, screw those flag nards, man. Like, I'm telling you, it hits so hard. And the Celestial Dragons are the ones that can do this. The fact that in the present time, it's the Holy Knights coming in and doing all of this to the soldiers of Elbaf, proving Rox right. They did turn them into nothing but military assets. They are just treating this nation as nothing but disposable individuals they can use for their own well-being. That's all they care about. And Loki sees that in the present time. He's going to be like, yo, Luffy's going to be like, bro, let's get it. And they're going to do it. And it's going to hit so hard because Harold made one wrong decision. One bad mistake. Not believing in Rox. Not believing in Rox, man. I can't throw away my people's lives by following a villain like you into a losing battle. There was no true conclusion, but this unorthodox friendship had come to an end. Man. The two would not meet again for some time. Not until the day of a certain instant. God Valley! So what's gonna happen? Harold and Rox at God Valley. Oh, what we talked about last week. it's gonna hit so hard. So hard. Coming off of this context. When we get to God Valley, and it's Harold, and it's Rocks, we know for a fact one of them is being Domi Reversing. One of them is going to be Domi Reversing. Especially coming off of this. And the fact that one of them is going to either allow themselves, if it's Rocks, he's going to allow himself to get killed at the hands of his friend. Or if it's Harold, it's him not in control of himself, having to take out his closest friend. Coming off of this. I'm sure of it now, man. I'm sure of it now. One of those two scenarios for sure is what took place. Now it makes so much sense why Rocks died. A man of his caliber. And why we had that emu panel at the beginning of his section of the flashback. Man, dude. It's like in a flashback filled with so many great moments, like earlier in the chapter, that can make you so happy. It also has so much sadness like this, man. Because you know the inevitable tragedy that's coming. Not just in the God Valley incident, but then what happens to Harold as well. And it's all because of his mistake. And it's a very human mistake at that, man. Not until the day of a certain incident. More news about Rocks. He isn't coming back, Loki. Shut up, you old hag! Oh no, not even old. My bad. I didn't mean to say that, Ida. You lying hag! Would you like some juice? Says, oh, that's old girl who's been helping out my boy Loki. Okay. 39 years ago in the West Blue. It's time, boys! Hold on, man. Hold up. Hold up. Double jersey. Where are my hats? Where are my hats? God Valley, 39 years ago, West Blue. Where? Oh, two twin boys. They're so cute. And they've got your red hair. Let's go! My goat! My goat! The birth of legends! The birth of kings! The birth of gold! Let's go! Let's flipping go! Come on, man! Come on! Wait! Wait! Hold on. Bro, I genuinely don't know where the camera went. Hold on. Up here, it says it's by the Nintendo Switch. Hold on. Where's it at? Where's the camera? Bro, but I want to read the chapter. But where's the camera? Oh, bro, where is it? Hold on. Okay. Judging by the thing up here, it says it's by the cord. Oh, I see it, bro. Dude. Oh. Yo. Just fade. I'm sorry, camera. I'm sorry. It's Shanks, bro. It's flipping Shanks. It has to be. It's gotta be Shanks. And it's gotta be Shamrock. Hold on. Are we good? Okay, reading the chapter. The Santa hats are over there. You already know. They're so cute. And they've got your red hair. Is that Shanks' mama? Mm-hmm. I hope that they grow up to be as bright as you. Don't worry. Well, am I still alive? Yeah, we're good. Oh my god, bro. Shanks' mom, bro! I hope they grow up to be as bright as you. Ooh, don't worry. We'll pitch in since their daddy's away. Thank you, mister. Have you settled on names for them? Bro, stop! Shanks and Top 3 chapter of the year. Top 3, man. Shanks and Shamrock. Oh, so bro, you ain't ever lied. This was the most Recon core chapter you could ever have. Great character on its surface. Great character interactions. Fantastic, real shonen battles. Both in terms of rivalry dynamics with Roger and Rox, and then Rox and Harold. I mean, just understanding the pain that both of them are going through at that time. And then what do you have in the same chapter? Garling. And then what do you have? His 2 sons, Shanks and Shamrock. The birth of the king. The birth of... Bro, I love this so much. I love this flashback. I love this arc. I do, man. I flipping do, bro. This is beautiful. Shanks' mother. They're so cute and they've got your red hair. I hope they grow up to be as bright as you. Don't worry, we'll pitch in since their daddy is away. Thank you, mister. Have you settled on names for them? Shanks and Shamrock. Yo, the child of destiny was born, bro. What do they call him in that one chapter? Whatever it was. Oh, dude. Yo, on a personal standpoint, as someone who, number one, enjoys the way that, obviously, read my fair share of romance manga, but just the way that Oda-fies things, I really loved this chapter, man. I really loved this chapter. This was phenomenal in every sense of the word. I got Ajaya, Roger, and Rox, and Shaky entire sequence. That was so good. I had an amazing Black Sails-esque Rayleigh and Roger first mate and captain scene ended in a very Oda comedic fashion. A Holy Land scene with Garling. Bro, in the midst of all of that, this battle between Harold and Rox might have been actually the highlight, man. They were all highlights. But this was really powerful because of what's happening right now in the current time. In the current time, this means so much. We're getting payoff to that in the current time. Everything that they said. Everything that they said is the established conflict at the present time of Elbaf. And it is insane to me because Harold could have prevented it all had he just not made that mistake, man. Had he just stood true to his boy. Stayed true to his friend. And how One Piece is that? How One Piece is that? That someone does not stay true to their friend, looks out for his people, because he has good intentions. Harold has very good intentions. He is trying to look out for his people, look out for the future of his children and the generations that come after. And because of that, he's willing to take out his best friend. One Piece says, as it has always said, stick by your people first. And that will then take you to the land. Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. But stay true and good to your people. If he just stayed true and good to his people, Elbaf would have been good years ago. Because Harold and Rox together? Oh my god. Emu himself would have had to step up. But I love this so much because it shows the human mistake that Harold made in a really, really, really incredible sequence here. So it's like their version of the Usopp and Luffy fight, right? Just a battle more so than a battle of hands. It's a battle of two ideologies clashing that it results in something really emotional that we know is going to have extreme payoff here in the present time. And I loved it. I really, really loved this entire section. Amazing stuff. And what do we get after that? Hints that the God Valley incident is starting? Bro, you know what I was going to say at the end of the stream? Just to let y'all know? I was going to say, because of how crazy it is, that next week the chapter reaction may be late. Because I was waiting to see if there was going to be a break, but it looks like there's no break. And I was going to say, next week's chapter reaction may be late because of everything that's going on. Screw everything else. The moment, the day this drops, I'm here. I don't care. We're here at normal time. If it drops on Wednesday, we're here at nighttime. If it drops on Thursday, we're here at nighttime. If it drops on Friday, we're here in the morning again. Whenever it drops, we are here. Everything else to the side. I'm pulling what was said at the beginning of the stream about being late to work. I do not care. God Valley? Shanks' mom? I will be here next week. On the money. On the dot. On the dot, son. What an amazing, amazing chapter. And like Super said at the beginning, now I definitely see what you were talking about, Super. This is a Recon Corps chapter to the max. A 40 out of 10. This means something to me chapter, man. I loved this chapter. I really, really love this chapter, man. In every sense of the word. This was like a perfect encapsulation of why, not just I'm sure I do, but why so many people love One Piece. It just has everything. It has lore. It has great character dynamics. It has great conflict. It has the birth of legends. It has awesome odifying of certain other genres. It has the birth of Shanks and Shamrock. It's got, once again, fantastic Jaya bar scene. It has the birth of Shanks and Shamrock. It has real shonen with Rox and Harold. And it has the birth of Shanks and Shamrock, bro. And it's got Shanks' mom. And it has a garlic scene. It was a great chapter, man. A round of applause. Round of applause to my boy Oda, bro. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy, man. What a chapter. Oh my god. Quag 2 brings up a good point. Before we get into the supers, Quag 2 says, Shanks and Blackbeard's mom revealed in the same chapter. That'd be insane. But you know what? With how this flashbacks, if next week's chapter gives, because that's what they're heading towards, right? Rox, apparently, the kid's already on the way. So Shanks, I'm assuming. I might stay off social media starting Sunday. I just thought about it. If Shanks and Shamrock came out the womb twins. Oh. Is it a possibility that Buggy and Blackbeard came out too? Oh my god, can you imagine that being revealed next chapter? And we see Buggy and flipping Blackbeard. Oh, but they couldn't look any different. They look so different, but they both carry qualities of Rox. Ah, dude, I can't wait to see both of them. Just out of my own personal curiosity, Shanks' mom, Shamrock's mom, and Blackbeard and potentially Buggy's mother as well. Because, yes, please do, Subra, because if there's one thing that I would never want to be spoiled on, it is the confirmation that Buggy and Blackbeard are brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be such a cool... Oh, man, that's definitely a possibility. Bro, next week's chapter has all-time potential as well. Because I'm not sure how soon God Valley is from this. But considering the momentum that we're going in, God Valley legitimately could be starting next chapter or the chapter after, or like Crag 2 was talking about, next week's chapter could focus on the birth of kids, meaning on, you know, Garling and and his mom, and Shanks' mom, saying goodbye to Shanks, or putting them up for the treasure chest, whatever the Flying Fighters are doing, seeing the dynamic of the Garling family, and also seeing the dynamic of Marshall and Rox. Oh, I'm so excited to see that, bro. Just out of curiosity. I want to know. And will Rox say, like, when Blackbeard is born, will Rox say anything about Davy Jones? Because normally, like, and I'm sure it is this way for any other religious family as well, but, you know, whenever a baby's born, you know, you dedicate them to God and ask for the protection of that baby's life. And so if Rox was being literal, I'm looking forward to seeing, like, how that would happen there as well, because I think that would be really interesting. Because we're already seeing the payoff for the Emu stuff, at least I'm assuming, for the Rox and Emu moment. And if we have payoff to the Davy Jones thing as well coming in soon, then I'm looking forward to that as well. But regardless, man, I am so stoked, dude. I am so stoked. Oh my god. So, oh, that's right. Yeah, Blackbeard is already born at this point. So we're gonna see kind of like how it was with Loki, where a little bit after with Loki. So Blackbeard's gonna be like 1, right? Like 1 or 2. So Blackbeard was already born. So if Blackbeard was already born, then we're gonna see how he was at that very young age. Oh man, I want to see Whitebeard's response, or how Whitebeard treats Blackbeard, considering, you know, just with context from both the Odin flashback and in current time. Just in context, I'm so curious. All right, let me go ahead and see this. Yo, I did not see this in due time. I apologize, in due time. I did not see the 10 gifted memberships, man. I was so caught in the hype. I did not see this in due time. I greatly apologize. Thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships to the channel. I appreciate you so much, in due time. Thank you. That's 2 straight streams. The in due time has done that for the Trails in the Sky and for this. So I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much, in due time, for the gifted memberships. I apologize for not seeing it until now. I really am. Thank you so much for doing that. I truly appreciate you. Akash Panda comes in with a 5 and says, Gecko, oh my god, the Kozuki Moria thing. Bro, this chapter was so good, I forgot about the Kozuki Moria thing. Oh, I never read the title. Bro, this chapter was so good, I forgot about all that. I forgot about all that. Chapter 1158, Rox versus Herald. Oh, man, dude. Rox, what a title for the chapter. Rox versus Herald, and it goes to show exactly what I was talking about earlier, that is what Oda went with as like the main central core of the chapter, and I truly believe that to be the case as well. That was like the centerpiece, the glue, the core that made this chapter work as brilliantly as it did. But going back to what Akash Pan is saying here, the number 1 in the leaderboard, according to the thing, says Gecko equals moonlight, Kozuki equals light moon. Gecko Moria was an adopted Kozuki. Does he know how to read poneglyphs? Will he be Crossguild's Robin? So let's break this down. That's very interesting. So Gecko Moria was an adopted Kozuki. Adopted Kozuki fascinates me. So Momonosuke. Now I'm curious as to what happened all those years ago when Kaido took out Gecko Moria. Because we know Kaido took out Gecko Moria a long time ago, but did that have relation to whenever he was taking over Wano? Now I'm really curious. And why have this Kozuki Moria gravesite? Who is Kozuki Moria? Is it like we were talking about, a Void Sentry version of Moria? Does he know how to read poneglyphs? Will he be Cross-Guild's Robin? Or Gecko Moria, maybe the people of Wano thought he was dead. Because remember, the people of Wano, they don't get newspapers from outside. So it could be a situation where Kozuki Moria is Gecko Moria. They think he's dead. But because they don't read the newspapers from the outside, they had their borders closed for so long, they don't know about the actual Gecko Moria being alive. So that could be the case as well. That could very well be the case as well, actually. Because if they believe that Moria died, there'd be no way for them to have any access to information that is contrary to that. Moria left Wano prior to Roger's execution and came back after, which is when he fought Kaido. That is a good point, because he was at Roger's execution. So he came back after that, after Roger declared what the One Piece was, and that's when he fought Kaido. That's interesting, Rosnan. And the Marineford higher up did want him to die too. That's also a good point, Nimashan. Perona and Toko, girl who ate the smile fruit, had the same hair and trademark eyes. Did Moria adopt Perona from Wano? So you're saying Perona could potentially be somebody from Wano too? Miss, hold on. I'm not gonna remove that from the realm of possibility, but that would be nuts. That would tie in a lot, man. It's a good point too about Toko with the pink hair. Fascinating stuff. Going back into your comment though, Akash Panda, for does he know how to read poneglyphs and will be Cross-Guild's Robin? I don't think he knows how to read poneglyphs. But him being Cross-Guild's Robin, there's no way he knows how to read poneglyphs, right? There's no way. Because if he knows how to read poneglyphs... Wait, I can't actually throw that out of the realm possibility. If he knows how to read poneglyphs, it makes sense why they wanted to kill him. Why Marineford HQ said, pack him up! Or the higher-ups at Marineford said, pack him up. So, hypothetically speaking, if he is Cross-Guild's Robin, we would have obviously Robin, they would have Gecko Moria, Blackbeard as Pudding, and Shanks' crew has no one who can read the poneglyphs. Which I think is very interesting just in the grand scheme of things. But if you're right, Akash Panda, then that would actually add a lot of weight to it. To what you're saying. It's the fact that all of those crews would then have access to read the poneglyphs. Oh, man. Great comment. And great comment to everyone that was bringing stuff up there. That was all great points. Yeah, that's also a good point, Quag, too. What pronouns improve depression while Toko ate a fruit that made her smile permanently. That's also a great point. That's a great point. Akash Panda comes in with a 2. Shout out to my boy. He says, check this 7-year-old theory I sent on Discord. 7-year-old theory. Let's see. Really, man. Alright, 7-year-old theory. Where'd you send it, Akash Panda? Oh, I see it. This guy, Boy Plunger 56, saw Moria's connection to Kozuki all the way back in 2018. Shout out to... Yo, the One Piece community is crazy. This is from 7 years ago. Theory of Gecko Morio was a daimyo / powerhouse in Wano. So we only know that Morio was defeated by Kaido in the New World and lost all his crew. We also know that Kaido is now based in Wano Country. So was Morio by any chance from Wano and was defeated there? I went to do some research and found something interesting. Gecko, when translated, stands for moonlight, and for easy reference, that symbol in Japanese or Chinese, this name is very familiar, and guess what? The Kozuki clan, when translated, is that in Japanese or Chinese characters. This is too much of a coincidence for me. Gecko is the inverse of Kozuki. This begs the question of whether they are related. Are they polar opposite clan, or maybe together they used to belong to one big giant clan? That is fascinating. Potentially, 800 years ago, those of Onigashima and those of the main flower capital were all part of like one big giant clan. This then leads to my second discovery, and that's the prints on the pants of Gecko Morio. For reference, here's the picture below. The 4-square diamond-shaped block is very familiar for me, and it's very similar to a big powerhouse daimyo clan in Japan's history, and that's the almighty Takeda clan. For reference, please see below for the clan logo of Takeda. Coincidence? I'm not so sure. Morio said that his crew were all famous, and in one particular scene when he grabbed Luffy's shadow, he actually said, if I had one follower underling back then, this word follower / underling is very unique in the sense that it's not crew, and we could see that the Minks were followers / servants of the Kozuki clan. It is that kind of relationship that you would use, that would use the word follower / underlings. Also, the Takeda clan was very popular at one point, or powerful at one point, of time, with many legendary warriors under his territory. It could be that Morio was representation of a Takeda descendant or a powerhouse in Wano. This dude is selling me, man. I can't believe it's taking me this long to see this. This leads to my conclusion that Morio will appear in Wano and be an ally of Luffy. I know people are speculating this, but again, I believe I made the best case here despite the simple reason of getting revenge on Kaido. So obviously that didn't end up happening, but we know the reason for that now. But very fascinating stuff, Akash Panda. That is, this guy put all. I know he's gonna be celebrating. Boy Plunger 56. If he's still reading the story, has to be the happiest person in the world right now with the theory being confirmed from 7 flipping years ago. Man, that is nuts. That is actually incredible. Thank you so much for sending that, Akash Panda. And here's your comment from earlier. The Jaya callback, absolutely great. Roulette Yaps comes to membership for 3 months. I love to Roulette Yaps says, yeah! Definitely was a yeah chapter. Definitely was a yeah chapter, yo. No doubt. Thank you, Roulette. Behanort, then this is the comment from earlier. I love to you, Behanort. I couldn't agree more with your comment. It's just so cool. I loved it so much. Akash Panda then comes with the 2 and says, God Valley had or was the ancient weapon Uranus. God Valley had or itself was the ancient weapon Uranus. Elaborate on that, Akash Panda. I'm fascinated by your line of thought. Elaborate on that. Elaborate on that. I'm genuinely interested. I'm genuinely interested. Yeah, 7 years ago, bro. Enlighten me on your thought process on that, Akash Panda. Because I'm genuinely curious on your thought process there. True Roofers comes in with $1. Excuse me. Anytime the True Roofer stops by, you know it's going to be a peak chapter. And this was a peak chapter. This was an actual peak chapter. Especially for my tastes. And especially for my tastes, you know. So this chapter was awesome. All of the True Roofers for stopping by. That is the absolute GOAT of everything. And once again, one of these days we will have that True Roofers sponsorship, but that will have to come at the behest of True Roofers. So all love to you, True Roofers. Thank you so much. Akash Panda follows it up and says, Garling found something on God Valley that Emu would be excited about. Oh, yes, I see what you're saying. So in this chapter, he was talking about how the Great One would be excited by the discovery that was made on God Valley. And if the discovery on God Valley was the ancient weapon Uranus, and then that discovery would then lead to the Lucia incident. It would lead to the end of the God Valley incident when it was deleted. That makes a ton of sense, Akash Panda. That's actually a good point. Ancient weapons is the only thing I can imagine that would excite Emu, absolutely. Especially if we grab it into the context of that ancient weapon potentially being powered there at God Valley. Actually, think about it like this, right? So let's just say they find the ancient weapon at God Valley, present it to Isemester-sama. It still has a little bit of the ancient power source in it. He fires the shot, God Valley gets destroyed, gets deleted. Now they have no more of the power source left. That leads us into Vegapunk. Vegapunk then creates this version of the Mother Flame that then would allow the Uranus to be able to be powered up once again. Thus might be the reason why such a thing has not been shot in 40 years. Because it probably used up the last of its ancient power source at that moment, right? And they didn't have a way of reloading. They didn't have a way of getting another, adding more energy to the source. So that could very well be the case. Definitely could be the case. Ooh. And then, like Aaron says, it could be the outrageous discovery. It could be the Nika fruit itself, since it is the most ridiculous power. I'm not going to throw that out of the realm of possibility either. Definitely not going to throw that out as well. Or God Valley had the Mother Flame. That's a good point too. That God Valley had the main essence of the Mother Flame, and that would then power up Uranus to then delete God Valley. That makes sense for me as well. Yeah, in 38 years. All right, let's keep going through the supers. Y'all are cooking. Super comes in with a 40 and says, Nolan and Kalgara, Harold and Rox. Yes. The best of friends that turned into enemies in the most tragic way possible. Spitting at the highest level. Definitely very similar between the two for sure. Two legends, man. 4 legends, technically. 4 legends. Mugsby7962 comes in with a 10 and says, that's the very issue. Sure, Rox could do it, but it isn't what Harold wants. He wants his country, his people to be connected to the world the same way Odin wanted to open the borders. That's a great point, Mugsby. I was looking at it through the lens of like the current time period and what a Luffy would do, right? But we're talking about a Rox whose specific goal is to be king of the world. But that's not what Harold wants. Harold wants his country, his people, his future, the future generation to be connected to the future of the world. Or I'm sorry, to be connected to the entire world. And that's ultimately why he decided to make the tragic decision to take out his friend for the betterment of the future, for the betterment of his people. You're absolutely right on that. You got me on that, Mugsby, for sure. 110%. 110%. Great comment. You're absolutely right. That is not specifically what Harold wants. In a very similar way that Odin wanted to open the borders exactly. It's a great point. It just makes it extremely sad, man. And it just really brings up the Gorosei as villains, man. Because they know. They always know. We look back to the Kuma flashback, they know. They know where to drive it, where it hurts most. That's exactly what they're doing here with them as well. So it's like, man, dude. Thank you, Mugsby. Appreciate you. Great comment. Great comment. Where am I? Subra comes in with a 40 and says, I told you that we will see Blackbeard in Shanks' birth. You did say that. You got me. You most certainly did say that. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. We got to see Shanks in this chapter and Shamrock very, very young, practically newborns. And we're going to see next week either, I mean, obviously Blackbeard's already born at this point, but who knows if we flash back to Blackbeard's birth. Or if we just see a young Blackbeard, right? And that's just... It's just so cool. It's just so cool. But you're absolutely right, Subra. Thank you so much for that, brother. You definitely did call it. VTEX comes in. VTEX3567 comes in with a 2 and says, still need to see what Rox did 1 year before God Valley. I mean, next chapter may very well, because God Valley was 38 years ago, right? So
We still have 1 year left where we can focus on what Rox did a year before God Valley. And I wonder how that's going to lead into him researching into the taboo subjects and looking into things that that caused the WG to erase his name from history, right? Like I'm curious. I'm curious. Number one, the reason why I'm so curious as to that year is because so far within this flashback, the main thing that we know about him researching into taboo subjects is that he knows Emu's existence and the existence of Davy Jones, which are two things that, to our knowledge, are very, like, super confidential things. So that is our main insight into the things that Rox was looking into. So I would like to see that within this next year. Why Rox gets fascinated by that stuff. Why he looks into that stuff. And how that leads into the eventual stuff at God Valley. That's what I would like to see from this next year. But thank you, brother. Let me go ahead and use the restroom real quick. Once again. And then, it must have been the water I was drinking. And then we will come back and read the rest of these supers. Give me 1 second. Apologize about that, y'all. Like I said, I mean, it's the water. The Queen Slayer, going back to your comment from earlier, your super, I definitely understand why this chapter made you late for work. Such a good chapter. Such a good chapter. Okay, so we continue with the supers here. And we see Salty Steve comes in with a 5 and says, Rox wanted to use Harold as well for the frozen giant army. And Oda showed Blackbeard's mom in an SBS? Did Oda show Blackbeard's mom in an SBS? Let me know which SBS. So I can go back and look at that. I honestly don't remember. Honestly, don't remember that SBS. But Rox using Harold as well for the frozen giant army. You're absolutely right about that. And it's like a sort of like, yeah, he's looking at you for military assets, but even though obviously you're boys, you're friends. But Rox also wanted a piece of that military pie as well, right? Even though he mainly wanted it because he was his friend. The frozen giant army, you know, it was too good to pass up for him. So you're absolutely right on that end, Salty Steve. But let me know about this SBS thing. I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious about this SBS. It's also good to see so many of y'all names either I haven't seen in a while or are only able to join during the morning streams.
So these are always cool. I said this before, but if I had the ideal schedule, and we had 3 chapters a month or 4 chapters a month, I would stream 1 chapter in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 at night. So that way, everyone could get an opportunity to be able to join on the streams. Because I know it's tough to join in on the night streams for a lot of people. So, if it was an ideal world, that's what I would do. But unfortunately, One Piece never comes out consistently, so we just never know when the chapter's dropping. And let me see. Oh, it was unpublished concept art. Okay, thank you. In a data book. Gotcha. JD Kurtz comes up with a 10. It says, streets need that Baby Mihawk reveal. Baby Mihawk. Yo, that would be fire. That'd be fire, honestly. I would definitely be down for that. JJK narrator, when Mihawk was born, the balance of the world was altered. Baby Shanks and Shamrock don't want to see Mihawk in daycare. In daycare! Yo, it's gonna turn into... Y'all remember that Looney Tunes show when they were babies? What was that called, man? It was a Looney Tunes show when they were babies. It was a banger show, by the way. Every time I had to stay home from school because I was sick, I used to watch that. What was it called? Baby Looney Tunes? That's what it would be. Baby Looney Tunes would be a young baby Mihawk in daycare boxing Baby Shanks and Baby Shamrock. Let's flip and go, man. Baby Peace, baby scaling, dude. Let's get it. Mihawk was born with a mustache. If that's the case, Mihawk might be top 1. If he was born with a mustache, he might be top 1. He might actually be top 1. Oh, Baby Looney Tunes? That's what it is. Baby Looney Tunes. Yo, shout out to that show. Check Discord for Blackbeard Mother concept. Let me see. Blackbeard. Oh, let me look at this first picture. Shanks timeline. 39 years ago, 30 years ago, 24 years ago, 14 years ago, 12 years ago, and current. Yeah, so 39, obviously, this chapter, 30 years ago with Roger, 24 at the time of Roger's death, 24 years ago at the time of Roger's death, 14 years ago in the conversation that we had there with him and Gabon and Elbaf, and then 12 years ago with Romance Dawn, and then current modern day, man. Thank you for sharing that. That's super cool. Oh, this is so cool, Subra. It shows Roger and Rox, and it's got the Ace and Blackbeard on the bottom. Peak. Absolute peak. And then concept art for Blackbeard's mom right here. Oh, man, now I can't wait to see her. I really can't wait to see her now. Because what it's going to show, similar to Kaido, where Kaido looks very, very different in silhouette than the actual Kaido, Roman Reigns Kaido. So I'm looking forward to seeing like how the difference is how the difference is now in concept art. Because Oda's been in on a streak in this arc for really cool character designs. So I really want to see what Blackbeard's mom looks like, just from a character design standpoint. Because he's been on a streak. On the right is Blackbeard's sister, younger sister Blackbeard. Oh, wow. So we're about to see this character pop up too? That would be cool, Subra. That would be cool. That would definitely be cool. Rox was just popping out kids, man. Shout out. Yeah, that show was awesome. Mihawk was born with a black blade. Yeah, Mihawk was born with a black blade, man. Everybody got to put respect on his name. Myself included. VTEX then comes in with a 10 and says, the line talking about how bright Shanks' mom is interesting. It makes me think she could have a special ability like a prophet or a poneglyph researcher. The Great Discovery could even be a road poneglyph. So, going back to the Great Discovery conversation, so the Great Discovery, you're bringing up, it could just be a road poneglyph, which is fascinating, and that would definitely be of interest to the Great One, to Eben. The Mother Flame thing fascinates me, and the Uranus idea fascinates me as well. I don't know if it would be a road poneglyph, though I could be wrong. And the reason why I don't think it's road poneglyph is I think all the road poneglyphs, besides Zoe, because that one obviously is always on the move, but I think all the other ones are just stationary. They are going to stay in the same spot.
I think. I think so. But if it is the final road poneglyph, and that's the great discovery, that would be so interesting. I would be down for that. Because then that would connect us to the man marked by flames and things like that, right? Like, that fascinates me. I'd be so down for that. Yes. But on the idea of how bright she is, I just took that as like a bright and cheery individual, maybe in the way that she looks. I'm not sure. Or maybe she's like a highlight in the community or something. But this is the Celestial Dragons we're talking about, and they're a bunch of sickos. So I'm not sure. Well, then again, no, we're just in God Valley. Celestial Dragons haven't even gotten here yet. These are just normal people. So maybe she is just like a really cool person. But if she's a poneglyph researcher, that adds aura onto anyone. If they're a poneglyph researcher. But especially someone of being Shanks and Shamrock's mom. It just makes you think, where is she in the current time? Probably not alive anymore, but that is interesting. If she ends up with the same disease as Guinea, then I'm curious. I'm really curious as to, similar to what happens in Amazon Lily with like the love sickness concept. I'm curious on that front as well. How common the blue stone disease is to some of these individuals. But yeah, if it's a mom, it's dead. That's true. Quack too. That's true. That's true. Mihawk performed his own C-section. He cut himself off the womb. That's facts. But no, absolutely. It's a great comment. Vtex, the more I think about your road poneglyph idea, the more I'm being sold on it. Like, I think it would be interesting just because of the man marked by flames implications. This would mean that the man marked by flames took the final road poneglyph out of there, which would imply that would have had to have happened before Roger made it to Laughtail. It's a great comment, Vtex. I'm definitely going to keep a lot of that stuff in mind. Definitely going to keep that stuff in mind. Now, D-Kutch comes in with a 2, which says, Kaido kills pirates, but creates legends. He really did, man. He really has. Legend of Moria and Kozuki Moria, if that is the route that we're taking this, that is Moria who died, quote-unquote, in Wano. They don't have information to the outside world, so they don't know he's still alive. So they created a legend of Kozuki Moria there thanks to Kaido. And then Luffy, obviously, Kaido added to the legend of that as well. So no, you're spitting on that end, which is super, super cool. Shout out to Kaido, man. We're talking about professional wrestling earlier. He is the ultimate heel that comes in and brings up the baby faces, right? That's his role. As Rex would say, that is his role in this world. Shout out to my boy Rex. Subra comes in with a membership for 29 months and says, Moria and Ryuma. Thriller Bark equals God Values remains. All the Dead Rocks pirates. Next chapter or 1160, we might see how Roger got Shanks. So let me break this down if I can, because that just by itself makes me emotional. Moria and Ryuma, you're absolutely right. Because he had to have taken Ryuma from the grave, right? As we've spoken on before, which by itself leads into the idea of the Wano connection. But then the Thriller Bark and God Valley remains because all the Dead Rocks pirates from that era come back, right? That makes a ton of sense to me too. But it just makes it that then begs the question: what is Uranus doing? Because if we thought that the entirety of God Valley got deleted, but if remains of it are still around, that means either it was an incomplete shot where it didn't have the full extent of the Mother Flame they do now, because Lucia was completely wiped out, right? So maybe this island that was thought to be wiped out in its entirety had remains that then became Thriller Bark. But it could just be that Gecko Moria or whatever else was there
ended up rescuing these individuals, or at the very least their bodies, and then the rest is history, because obviously he got oars as well. So Moria is he's very good at digging up individuals, as we see. Oars and Ryuma. So, I mean, if it did happen in God Valley, that would be crazy. And it being a piece of God Valley would be absolutely insane. And would add a lot to why we keep signaling to it. But it could very well just be that that Mori is just really good at digging up dead bodies. But man, on this final part, that we're going to see how Roger got Shanks, that stuff is going to hit hard. I was actually talking about this with my cousin the other day whenever I went to his house last week. And we were just talking about how, how Rock's final moments are going to go, as well as how it is that Roger got Shanks. And we know that it's been on Oda's mind ever since Film Red, because he drew that final part. But it's going to be emotional, man. It's going to be really, really emotional whenever we get to it, at least for me. Like, it's already an emotional flashback. But, goodness gracious. Mori's a Tomb Raider, literally, Jinho Wang. Literally, bro. Legit. The Man by Flame says the Fishman Island Road poneglyphs. He took it after Roger found it 26 years ago. Gotcha. So he got the... That's right, gosh, man, I might have been tripping. I might have been tripping. Thank you for that. Because I was starting to string something together there, but no. I'll let you cook. I'll definitely let you cook. But thank you, Subra, once again for the membership for 29 months. Which is a long time. And for this awesome comment. Chinho Wong comes in with a 6 and says, Treasure God Valley, maybe people born with high hockey. Oh, so some of the treasures of God Valley might be people that are born with high hockey, similar to a Shanks, a Shamrock, these individuals. That would be interesting. And they themselves are considered treasures. The reason why I'm not ruling that out, Chinho Wang, is because we're seeing how Shaky herself is considered a treasure by the world, right? So we see how individuals can be considered to be treasures for some people. And so if for the individuals in the highest echelons of the Celestial Dragons see those with Conqueror's hockey or high levels of hockey to be considered treasures, I can see that. Because we're already seeing this flashback how people can be considered to be treasures as well. So I could definitely see that, Jinho Wang. Thanks so much for that. Alejandro Solis, comes in with the 2 and says, did Garling adopt or make Shanks and Shamrock? Ooh, I didn't think about that yet because Garling's not there. Oh man, that just added a new layer. Did Garling adopt or make Shanks and Shamrock? Well, I'll tell you this. If Garling adopted Shanks and Shamrock, if we're going by One Piece history, then Garling at the end of the story is going to be a good guy. That's the way I see it. Because most of the time, when you have an adopted pops in One Piece, most of the time, he's a good dude. So, if Garling adopted Shanks and Shamrock, he's actually looking out for the betterment of his children. Garling being the one who actually made Shanks and Shamrock, then there's still a possibility, right, that Garling's just a flipping Celestial Dragon Flagnard, which appears to be the case. Which obviously he's going to have a lot more complexities and layers to him. But if he is the one that made Shanks and Shamrock, then there's going to be a lot of familial lineage toxicity that's going to be taking place there. But if he adopted Shanks and Shamrock, that changes things. That does change things because it is One Piece. And we know that how many times the story of family going beyond the bonds of family lineage and DNA is such a prevalent theme in the story. So, that's a great comment. I didn't even think about the idea of Garling not being the dad, because in this chapter it does show that Daddy was away. So there's no guarantee, right? That is interesting. Alejandro Solis, that is a great comment. I didn't even think about that. That's a great comment. Being adopted into the Celestial Dragon family. But what that goes to show, Alejandro Solis, is if that is the case, because I was thinking of the mark, right? And I thought the mark would be given to these children immediately at birth. But if what you're saying is true, maybe upon adoption, they could then be given the mark as well. The mark of the abyss. So that is interesting. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you're spitting on that. Yeah, well, Quack 2 is saying is true, because we were just talking about that in here. The fact that he made a discovery. That Garling made a discovery at God Valley that would prove great to the Great One. And maybe then is whenever he met Shanks' mom, or Shanks and Shamrock's mother. So, Garling could very well still be the father, which is what I'm leaning towards. I genuinely think Garling is the pops of Shanks and Shamrock. Why else would he have this much focus ever since chapter 1086? But that's some good food for thought, Alejandro Salas, presenting us a scenario that I didn't even think about. It's a good point. But I'm going to go with Garling being the pops. Being the pops. Recon comes to membership for 41 months, which is a very long time. It says, hey, discovery could be Loki's fruit or a poneglyph. So you're also on the line of thought about being a poneglyph. So a poneglyph fascinates me, once again, because it implies major things for... Wait. Is it possible that the discovery is the giant straw hat? Now hear me out. We don't know how long Emu has had the giant straw hat locked away under key. Because of how frozen it is, we think it's been around for 800 years. That he's had it stacked away for 800 years. But what if it was lost? But then again, why would Garling know the importance of the straw hat? So maybe that's not what it is. Maybe that's not what it is. But he would know the poneglyph because of it being taboo. So I like your idea on Loki's fruit as well. I think the Loki's fruit possibility is also very interesting. Like really, really interesting, because I didn't even think about that either. So if the treasure is Loki's fruit, or I'm sorry, if the discovery is Loki's fruit, then what in the flying Flagnards is in that chest? The chest that Harold has. Or, I'm sorry, the chest that's in Elbaf. At the very beginning of this flashback. I like either idea, Recon, I do. Because I was sold earlier on the poneglyph idea. And I think it being a fruit obviously goes in line with what they consider to be treasures, because that's when Kaido's fruit come into play and things like that. So I like it. I like either idea, Recon. For sure. Thank you for your comment. Blackhawk211 comes in with a 10. It says, Moria was from the West Blue, and God Valley is in the West Blue. There's a non-zero chance we see a young Moria lose his home soon. Great point, and Oda might be tying the cover to current events. Great point. So if Moria's from the West Blue, and since God Valley's in the West Blue, We could see, and that leads into what Subra said earlier about Moria collecting the remains of those dead bodies. You know what, Subra, because I forgot about this, you might have been cooking there. You might have been cooking there. Because there's definitely a non-zero chance of this, like Blackhawk says. And if Oda's tying the cover to current events as he has done in the past, and making us remember Moria before we get into that next chapter, or in the chapter after, I can see that. That's a good point. I forgot the Warriors from the West Blue. That's a great point. It's a great point. If it was a fruit, why not just take it to Marijoa? It's a good point. Because if it was just a fruit, why not just take the fruit and take it over there? Like what Garling implies in this chapter is that it's something pretty big, right? Like that it's something that he can't take out of there. So it implies that it is a discovery that they must go out and excavate and or attempt to take control of. So in that regard, Uranus or a poneglyph makes a lot of sense. But if it's a fruit, that would mean that either it's tied down, right? Which someone of Garland's caliber could take it out, or that because if it was something like that, then it would just obviously be taken up. That's a good point as well, Akash Panda. It could. You're right. I did not think of that being an element of it, because if it is something small, he could just take it up there himself. But if it's a discovery, and they have to go out and excavate it and or attempt to do something with it, take control of it, they would have to be either something large or something like a poneglyph, right? That's very difficult to be able to carry. They can be moved. So that's a great point. That's a great point. Thank you once again, Blackhawk. And thank you, Akash Panda, for the clarification. Yeah, same with poneglyphs, exactly. So great comments, y'all. Y'all are cooking today. As y'all always do. Mugsby comes in with a 10 and says, that's why I love this interaction between Rox and Harold. There's no easy or right answer. Both sides of justification, both sides are right depending on perspective. That's why I love it too, Mugsby. It reminds me so much of the Usopp and Luffy fight because it was similar there as well, right? Like we understood why both of them were boxing. And that's what made it hurt. And that's what made me love that Rox and Harold stuff so much too, because it is very One Piece and we see there is no easy, there's no right answer. It's both sides have extreme justification, absolutely. Depending on their perspective, for sure. Absolutely, Mugsby. And it adds into why the chapter was titled that. Because it was the central core of this chapter. And honestly, it might end up being the central core of this flashback. Because we know how important everything they talked about there ends up being on the modern day. So, great comment once again, Mugsby. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, yo, for the super and for another wonderful comment. Then Red comes in with 100 and says, we know Shanks was with Roger the whole time, then became a pirate immediately after. But when he met Whitebeard, he brought him booze from his hometown. I think Shanks found God Valley. Yeah, you're right. Jinbei did move the poneglyph to Whole Cake. It can be done. It can be done. And he moved it under the sea as well. Oh. Dang, Red, you might have got me with that. I don't know what to say to that. I'd have to go back and reread that interaction. What chapter was that again? 416, right? Or no. Going Mary's death was 430. Shanks and Whitebeard. Was it 440? Let me pull the volume. $434. Bro, imagine, we talk about skipping titles nowadays. Imagine opening up a chapter and the chapter is titled Whitebeard and Red Hair. I would have flipping lost it, man. When I look at your face, it makes my scars ache. The scars I got from him. That's so crazy, bro. That's still so crazy to me. I brought medicine and water with me. I'm not here to fight. I want to talk about... This is the wine from West Blue. This is wine from West Blue. You bring this to our meeting. I've sailed all around the world, but the wine that's made in the place I grew up has always tastes the best. It's a wine from my hometown. Have a drink. That's a good point, man. This is wine from the West Blue. I've sailed all around the world, but the wine that's made in the place I grew up always tastes the best. It's a wine from my hometown. Definitely got me there, Red. So what does that mean? Yeah, Recon, no, for sure. Like I said, I'm not going to rule it out. I genuinely love the idea because going back to where's my iPad? Let me look back at that conversation with Garling again while I think about what Red said, because that just blew my mind. So Garling says, I'm aware, but while we were completing another assignment, we stopped briefly at that island, non-affiliated state, but as a unique culture. We tried offering them membership in the world government, but they declined. While their abundant resources were certainly valuable for us, we just made an outrageous discovery. It was a completely unexpected find, and the Great One will surely be pleased with it. In 2 years' time, I strongly urge you to hold the next hunt at God Valley. So, in that line of thought, why is General Wug? Can't be God Valley unless Oda draws baby Shanks drinking wine and not milk. Man, Red blew my mind there. And then Recon, for sure. Like I said, I'm not going to rule out the legendary fruits thing. Definitely not going to do it. But man, Red, I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. I generally don't know how to answer that. Because you're right. Finding it from his hometown specifically. That's crazy. Red, keep this entire thing in mind. And if you end up being right, wow. All power to you, because you blew my mind. I completely forgot about the conversation from 434. Flipping flatters. I genuinely don't know how to respond to that. Subra comes in with the 100s after that. Says, Roger found Shanks on the chest. Shanks was named by her mother. Question, how did Roger know his name? A connection between Shanks' mother and Roger? That has to be how Roger ended up with Shanks then. Is that he finds out the name in some way. Some way he has to find out the name. Or if Shanks is put up as one of the treasures of God Valley, it probably would have like a name tag to it, right? Because he was found in a treasure chest. So if that's the case, they would have to know. Oh, just like for Kaido's fruit, they would have to know. Oh, this kid's name is Shanks, right, or whatever. So, or was it them that put him in a chest? No. I don't flipping know, man.
Shanks' name was written on his clothes or toys in the treasure chest. Or that, exactly. Or that, which is a very childlike thing to be. Or just referring to the entire... So in Japanese, he uses the word kokyo. It could be hometown, but it could also refer to the place of origin in general. Refer to the sea they were born as kokyo. Shanks could just be referring to the West Blue as a whole as his hometown. That makes a lot of sense as well. That makes a lot of sense. For sure. In the cover stories in chapter 1154 and 1157, it said the hero was born in the West Blue and raised in Ringo. Mori fought Kaido and Ringo 23 years ago, and it's the same as Ryuma's. Ooh, Saeed. Great comment, Saeed. That's a cook. That's a cook. That's a cook. Michael Mickles comes in for 43 months. Holy flagnard. It says, you gotta be kidding. I just knew that I would catch you this time. My wife just made breakfast for my birthday. Dude, happy birthday. Everybody give a happy birthday to Michael Mickles, man. Just God bless my boy, dude. That's why I can't stick around. Have an awesome day. Can't wait to catch you later. God bless. Yo, amen, brother. God bless you too, man. Shout out to Michael Mickles, yo. My boy. I hope you have a great birthday. Awesome time with the family. All love to you, Michael, man. What a chapter for you to get on your birthday, dude. Holy flagnards. Shout out to Michael Mickles, man. All love to my boy. All love to my boy, man. God bless him. Yo. Happy for you, Michael Mickles, man. What a chapter to have on your birthday, dude. Alright. So, let me read this comment right here, and then we will... We're already 2.5 hours in. Then we'll call it... Flagnards. Chin Wong, I think you can still be a hero even though you lose. Especially in this series. Remember, there's been God Valley survivors saved by Kuma, so you might know where they are. That's also a good point, Bunny D. Alright, Superman, have a good one, bro. We're about to call it here as well. But man, great discussion today, y'all. Great discussion. A lot of things to think about. A lot of things to... To be fair, he did use Watatsumi to move the Poneglyph. Yeah, and Watatsumi's massive. That is true. Isn't the legendary pirate song about sake? That it is. That it is. Garling, we found something groundbreaking. God Valley, the best sake you'll ever drink. Hey, man, listen. In this series, you can't count anything being someone's treasure, right? But I mean, God bless Michael. Shout out to my boy Michael Mickles, bro. All love to him. But yeah, before we wrap things up here today, man, I want to talk about this chapter. So I think what I'm going to do, I definitely want to talk about this chapter, man. We'll play it by ear. Because like I said, there's going to be a lot of stuff this weekend. If you see it and I can't stop thinking about, then that will be for the afterthoughts this week. Because this is that type of chapter. This is that type of chapter. So... Oh, Quag 2! Yo, Quag 2. Hopefully then the chapter drops next week, either late Thursday, so that we can be reading it here, and then it transitions it over into your birthday. I'm not sure if you're in the East Coast, but if you are, then it'll be a birthday chapter. But if not, if it drops on Friday again, it'll be a birthday chapter for Quag 2 as well. Should be fun. By the way, Quag 2, I saw your comment on the Kirby Air Riders thing. I can't wait for that game either. 11 away adaptation next week. It's on break this week, right? It'll give me a chance. Oh, our Japanese friend stopped by today. Let me see. Let me translate this. Before I exit the stream here. Can you read my message? It doesn't go high enough. Let me see. If you did post it, let me see if I can find it.
I see you posted a Santa hat. I see a message retracted. Try posting it again, my friend. Because it stops at the highest comment that I can see from the stream was a Blackhawks comment right here. Just post it again. Yeah, thank you, Lazy Muffles, for the reminder. So break this week. Okay, so if there's a break this week, it'll give an opportunity to be able to catch back up to the anime, and then we'll be there for 11:08, which I'm so excited for. Stussie's line to herself in this chapter was slightly inaccurate. She said Rox was smiling like his kid was born, not expecting a kid. Oh, okay, so that was like a mistranslation? Okay. Gotcha. My last birthday chapter was when Edison and Hardest was it when Edison and Hardest My Goats interacted. I don't know if any chapter can top that. Yeah, like whenever you get a personal chapter, dropping on your birthday is like nothing can top that. Nothing can top that. All right, and then our final comment to send us off here will be our Japanese friend who comes in and says, let's see. Let me copy this. This flashback really gives us an idea of why Loki resented his father Harold after he learned the truth that he had betrayed Roxy Zebek. That's a great point. In his perspective, right? The Roger pirates likely rescued Shanks from God Valley and raised him as a crew member, but Garling was apparently there not just to kill Zebek, but to take away the Great One's wish. It's good to see King Recon react to chapters of the Bible like he does chapters of One Piece. And then the second half of your comment. Where is the other part? I'd like to see it. All love to you. all love to you, my Japanese friend. All love to you, man. Thank you so much for the comment as usual. And going into your idea of like for Emu, right? It is very interesting that Garling is here specifically for that purpose, and that God Valley is being held obviously on one side, not necessarily for the Shaky thing like we were initially anticipating, but it is going to be with this main central thing that they found in God Valley now at the core, right? The reason why the Gorosi are going to be holding the God Valley stuff. We're still not sure why the rest of them show up at God Valley, but that is going to be the central core for why God Valley is why the Gorosi are holding it to begin with. So it is very interesting. Merlin Witch is a trope that'll never get old. That's true. That's definitely true. Taking a break before 11:08, they're cooking. 11:08 to 11:10 stretch is going to be peak, bro. That entire stretch with the amount of hands and then the Gorosei stuff, oh my god, bro. 11:10 is one of my more anticipated episodes for sure. I can't wait for that. I really, really can't wait for that. During the eye catcher, it'd be cool if we see the other Gorosei's eyes like Saturn's in the sky when we get there. Oh, that'd be so peak. That'd be so peak. Yeah, true that, Winston. Like we get like an updated thing. That'd be super dope. By the way, Winston, Forbidden Door, man. Show, dude. What a show. And so, we'll call it here. All love to everybody who stopped by today. Yeah, no, for sure, DJ. No one's ready. Exactly, Chernobyl. Yeah, no one's ready. I will see y'all next week for sure. Not sure what's going to happen in between, like I said, because this next week is going to be wild. But definitely expect some videos on the gaming side of things, as well as, I really want to talk about this chapter again. So we'll see what happens. The term used for Shanks' mom is to describe her means, wise, sagacious, intelligent, and sensible. So I'm looking forward to seeing if Odom truly means that, or if he's going to turn it on its head and like Shanks' mom is like a flipping flag nerd. Who knows? In this flashback, who knows? I'm so excited for the Vegapunk anime speech and the flooding part. Oh, that's going to be so good. I can't wait. And going around the world, seeing all the characters, it's going to be so good. Yeah, all love. A great main event, Winston. Yeah, no, all love, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. Super Shut, appreciate you. Bonnie, Nika for annotation, can't wait for that too, DJ. No, absolutely. Thank y'all for stopping by. I know it was an early stream. But for some, it was probably way better for that as well. So I will see y'all. Take care. Awesome chapter. Absolutely loved it, man. This was a Recon Court chapter to the max. Kosh Panda, as always, thank you so much for looking out and for all of the stuff that you provided today in the stream. I truly appreciate you so much for that. So all love to everybody who stopped by here live and is going to be watching this later. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Anybody playing Metal Gear or Lost Soul aside today, hope you have a lot of fun. And definitely, once again, check out the Trails in the Sky first chapter demo that is released on PS5, Steam, and on Switch for an introduction into one of my all-time favorites. So all love to everybody. Take care. Can't wait for the next chapter. Will we see Buggy and Blackbeard next chapter? Will we see Mom Piece next week with Shanks and Shamrock's mother, and potentially Blackbeard's mother as well? We'll have to see. Or will next week be Rock's week with the 1 year leading into God Valley? Or are we getting right into the God Valley greatness? Who knows? Who knows with this flashback? For now, we'll see y'all. Take care.